Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. We are officially on the absolute precipice of basketball history. So, tonight, live in San Antonio, the New York Knicks hold a commanding 3-1 lead series over the Spurs. We are sitting exactly 40 minutes away from breaking a 53-year championship drought. I'm here, Dr. J. I'm with my boy Vinson. And today we're just gonna do our pregame talk, really share with you all what you need to know for this game leading up to Game Five in San Antonio, because the city is ready to explode after Wednesday night's historic 29-point comeback. But as we know, closing a team out on their own floor is probably one of the hardest tasks in sports. Um, and if you've forgotten or you've been living under a rock past 24 hours, one of the key moments during that game 4 game was OG Ananobi's tipping basket, really the game winning basket, honestly. Um, that really led us to where we are now, as the Knicks are up 3-1. And I'll just share that quick video real quick. And now, just a little background. This was a edit that I drew up real quick because I was so inspired, and I'm a nerd as well. So I put the Superman theme on top of that clip. So so I hope you all enjoy. I'm just going to share this real quick. One second.
Shot no good. The tip, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. With 1.2 remaining, let's take the lead. OG Anunoby.
Okay, look at
It's just the way that OG just ran. Like, I know he was hyped,
yeah.
but it was just so it was so robotic. But oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, he has like no emotion. Like the big, like, my man makes the biggest shot probably in history,
Mm.
and he's like, "Oh, okay, cool." I mean, I'm gonna play this one more time, man, because one of the things I loved about this clip is that the way Cat straight up hugs OG. Like, honestly, and I think I shared the group, is that like that's when I like teared up a bit when I saw it,
Right.
because I felt that emotion through the screen. But yeah, I'm gonna just share this one more time, and then we'll get started.
Shot no good. The tip, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. With 1.2 remaining, let's take the lead. OG Anunoby. And it's 107-106.
It's like he told him, "Don't hug me."
Right,
Still
right.
got him game to play.
He's like, enough of that, man.
Yo,
Come on.
it's so funny.
Oh my word. Oh man. But Vincent, man, so we're on the verge, of a historic ring tonight. So how does this Knicks locker room balance that blinding excitement with the cold execution it takes to win a road closeout game?
Well, the first thing they have to do is not allow the media get in their head about having a 3-1 lead, and and in it tonight. They can't afford to come out passive, or not trying to lose. Like, they have to come out the same way that they've come out in elimination games throughout the playoffs. They're averaging a resounding 39 point, I think, 6 point um, victory margin of victory
Marshall,
in these
yeah.
playoffs when it comes to the closeout games. They're not playing their starters in the fourth quarter. I think that would be different for tonight if that happened. But they just have to be about their business. They left earlier than the Spurs did. They came,
Mhm.
to make sure that no distractions met them when they were there, because there was a ton of distractions that met the Spurs. So you can see that the guys, they're focused. They're really
Yeah.
focused, and I definitely think that they'll come out with a sense of urgency, and we need to get this done. We need to get it done tonight.
Yeah, I know. I definitely agree, and yeah, and I saw that news clip regarding, the Knicks team got out there early before the Spurs did. Probably got some warm ups in, going over execution, going over plan what they're going to do tonight, and
Right.
to me that just lets me know that they want it more, man. Like they're
Yep.
locked in. and um, and as we've seen throughout this whole playoffs, that the Knicks and how they handle closeout games. Going back to round one against Atlanta, they beat them by like 51 points. Uh, to then going on to Philly, they beat them by at least 30, and then pretty much the same margin against Cleveland in the Eastern
Hmm.
Finals. Now, I said I don't share that to say that the Knicks are gonna beat them by like 50 points. I don't see that myself, and I know we'll go over predictions before we close out, but
Right,
I do think I think it'll be still I think it'll be fairly close, but s- enough breathing room. I don't think it's gonna be a 1 point, you know, 1 point game. I think it'd be a little more breathing room than that. But I also at the same time, I don't see it being a complete blowout. Hey, if that happens, that'd be really nice, especially
right,
because I think the Spurs team is very arrogant, man. Especially Wemby. So I think that would be nice to have that, especially on the Spurs home court, and really just close the lid on a lot of Knicks haters. So I mean,
right.
that would surprise me if the Knicks were to really blow
Definitely.
them out on their home court.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm definitely putting a $25 bet on the largest margin of victory for the
Whoa.
Knicks tonight.
Okay. Okay.
Because listen, man, anything is possible, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So might as well throw it down. Give me some, give me some pocket change.
There you go. All right, man. Well, I definitely hope it works out for you today.
Right.
So, Vincent, so let's flip the floor and look at San
Mhm.
Antonio. So a collapse of that magnitude leaves severe, I say, lasting internal scars on a young roster. So look no further than their point guard, De'Aaron Fox, completely played into the Knicks' hands down the stretch of Game 4 with that transition
Right.
layup blunder, instead of bleeding the clock or using a timeout. And to me, that's really inexcusable, given the Spurs as a young team, but he is a vet. So
Right.
he doesn't really get to use that excuse of being young. Well, at least a 9-year vet in the league. So even though this may be his first finals, but at the same time, I'm sure you've been in plenty of late game situations, scenarios, something similar to that, where especially when
Right.
you have the lead, you try to burn the clock and make the opposition chase you around, and then go hit some free throws to ice the game. But
Hmm.
what is the explicit tactical objective for Coach Mike Brown tonight to test that psychological fragility early, and how do we put Fox, right back under that immense, point of attack pressure?
I think from a defensive standpoint, you get underneath him, you blitz him. The Knicks have played a defense and starting in the second half that really shut off the middle and made Fox have to operate in isolated space where like he really couldn't get off the way that he wanted to. So just having him think and waste more energy mentally in that regard. I think defensively, you attack him, you put him in high screens, you make him defend Jalen Brunson for like 24 seconds in terms of the shot clock and really, get his legs tired because, the old saying is fatigue makes a coward out of us all. So
Mm.
getting him tired, getting him to, have to play both ends of the court and really lock in for the full 48.
Yeah, that's and I think also for Fox, I mean, that's something that's going to. I mean, I know they're professional athletes. They
Right,
should always try to move on to the next one, but also at the same time, especially when you really had a chance to put a team away, that's going to stick with you. I mean, because look at it like this: like, if let's say we lost Game 4.
right,
You don't think? I mean, Josh Hart admitted it. He was like, "Yo, he thanked OG because he saved him a lifetime of regret."
right.
If because when Josh Hart missed that the wide open layup that would have gave the Knicks the lead at that point of the game. So I mean, yeah, players do think about that stuff, man. That sticks with you, especially if it leads to costing your team the game, and in this case, maybe the championship. So um, to me, I think that's definitely still bothering Fox, because knowing that,
Mhm.
I mean, definitely coming in, if they were to come into the game 2-2 is totally different than right now the where it is. We're 3-1, where the Knicks can really close it out on their home court. So yeah, I would definitely want to expose that. Put more pressure, as you said, on him, and really try to take advantage of that of that matchup,
Hmm.
and force him to make up more mistakes.
Right.
So yeah, so let's look at looking at Towns. Let's look at a massive hidden physical advantage we have going into tonight. So that front court rotation. So Karl Anthony Towns, he spent most of Wednesday night glued to the bench, strictly limited, to just like 26 minutes because of early whistle touch fouls.
Right.
Um, while it made Game 4 a stressful watch, it means Cat enters tonight with completely fresh legs. While Wembanyama has been playing exhausting minutes, anchoring the interior. So knowing how fresh Towns is, how does Coach Brown structure the early offense tonight to feed him, and how do the Knicks immediately exploit San Antonio's vulnerable front court depth when Wembanyama sits?
I think you feed Cat early and often, and get him on the perimeter, so Wimby has to come out, and you test those legs.
Mhm.
I heard a funny fact about, not a funny fact, but like an interesting fact about Wimby and his minutes. Um, he really doesn't play more than 35 minutes in a game, and when he goes over that, he has trouble sustaining a
Yes.
certain level of play. That double overtime game they had against OKC, he played 44 minutes in it, but if it didn't go to double overtime, he would have played under 40, would have played closer to 35. So he's not used to playing minutes like that. So I do think there's some sort of carryover in terms of fatigue within his body. So I think you attack him early, you attack him often. Um, I think with Towns also, when Wemby goes out the game, you go right to the block against the Spurs backup. Um, I know Luke is most likely going to be out this game. He's questionable with a flu or
Right.
something like that. So I
Yeah.
do think that you go down to the block, you take advantage, you get those easy baskets. For Cat, I also think defensively, he has to keep his hands out of the cookie jar.
Yeah.
He has his habit of like just reaching, and those are where the dumb fouls come in. Honestly, I
Yeah.
don't know why he's reaching. He's not that kind of player to like just steal the ball straight up. So,
Right.
it should just be him just containing and contesting. But I think these are the advantages that Cat has. If he scores early and often, and then I think it'll do something for his defense and allow him to play, more of a bigger role in this game and go back actually to the role he was playing prior to games 3 and 4.
And yeah, that is when we talk about the fouls. That is something to watch too, because we got Scott Foster. He's going to be on the prowl tonight.
Right,
He's one of the lead refs for tonight. I know he has the nickname of the extender, who likes to extend series when the NBA wants to keep the money train going. So, well, no, I think in the midst of all that, yeah, if Towns can just continue to just play a relatively clean game, yeah, as you mentioned, try to really cut down on those dumb fouls. And honestly, Cat has. Throughout the playoffs, he has for the most part he
right,
has cleaned that up. So it's not to say he's been completely egregious this whole time. He has worked
right.
on that, so I have seen an improvement from him.
Same. It's
With
just those the last two games,
yeah,
and the way that they're calling everything, it's kind of weird. Like we all know that.
needless to say, yes,
Yeah, we all know that some miscellaneous calls have gone against him. So anything he could do to help himself, the better.
yeah, I agree. The way the finals has been called so far, it's not been great. The officiating has not been great at all. Honestly, probably the worst compared to the rest of the playoffs. Leading on to this point, it's probably the worst officiating I've seen.
Yeah, I've
Um,
never. Yeah, I'm not even one to complain about officiating. Um, this actually it's been bad. It's definitely been
yeah,
bad. And hey, um, we have a 3-1 lead despite of. So We just got to figure. They got to, we just got to believe in our guys to get it done.
Absolutely. So, defensively, the second half of Game Four was an absolute masterclass. Holding a powerhouse Spurs offense to a measly 30 total points. So the
Right,
biggest fix was stopping the overhelp. Allow Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart to stay glued to the wings. Completely
right.
erase those catch and shoot rhythm looks for Champagne and Vassell. So doing that at the Garden with the crowd, at your back is one thing, but how difficult is that to sustain that exact level of defensive discipline and perimeter communication in a hostile road environment tonight?
It's definitely going to be difficult. I mean, you don't have your home crowd, that's kind of shaking up the other team. If anything, they're
Mhm.
shaking you up in terms of your communication. So you're gonna have to speak louder. You're gonna have to use more hand gestures. You're gonna have to take advantage of every dead ball, um, whistle that comes across your way to speak, to communicate, to get in alignment. Um, I do think the Knicks keep to the no middle perimeter shell that they've been playing. I do think that they continue to keep the Spurs shooters out of their rhythm now that they see that this works and make the Spurs have to change their offense. Um, I think the Spurs might come out in a different set, but I haven't really seen anything that they do that's really sophisticated enough to kind of counteract the shell right now.
Mhm.
So I do think the Knicks, it won't be a 20 something blowout in the first quarter again.
Right.
Like I do think that they'll be able to sustain it. Now the Knicks have come out slow on offense, so we need to see them score. We need to see them put the ball in the basket. We need to see them come in laser focused because they haven't had a lead in none of all four games.
Yeah, none of these games, you're right. Yeah.
So the Knicks have to take care of that end as well. We talk about defense, but offensively, the game is won by putting the ball in the basket.
Yeah, I agree with you. The Knicks, especially if we're going to close this game out, especially on the road here, the Knicks can't afford to have these come from behind games. We need to stay close, even if we don't win the quarter. It's got to stay at least within 5 points or something. You got to keep
Right,
it close. We can't afford these big, lopsided end of quarters and just really to work your way back. It really exerts a lot of energy from the team to do that, and it does take a bit of luck too. You really got to hope that in this case that the Spurs make mistakes, but you can't always rely on that. So yeah,
right,
I like the Knicks to really just lock in and have that focus. Again, I call them the closeout Knicks because they seem to be a whole different team when they're in that closeout situation, and I think they're really going to take it to the next level tonight. Given this is one that's going to be for the championship, yeah,
same.
I expect the Knicks to really come out focused and say, hey, this is it. And I always like that mentality that the Knicks have maintained. That it's 0-0. They're going to play with that same type of intensity, that same sort of desperation as you starting out a series. So yeah, I see the Knicks really, like I said, to really lock in and you know work on those mistakes. Try to get the offense going, so that we don't see that sluggish start, which has hurt the Knicks. Especially as we just saw in Game Four, where halftime it was like what, a 74-49 lead or something like that.
Yeah,
So I mean,
something
it's
like that.
I mean, that's hard to watch, man, and
Yeah,
my heart can't take any more of that. Wait, let's
none of ours can at
yeah,
all.
right. Let's try to clean that
Like,
up tonight. Um, Now you had touched on this earlier when we were talking about the Spurs' depth. So
right,
so backup center Luke Cornett. So he's listed as questionable with a sudden illness, and he looked like he's unlikely to go tonight. So while Cornette doesn't, he doesn't light up the box score. Because I always said when Cornette comes in for Wemby, it's barbecue chicken. When Cat gets to
right.
really expose him. But he is the only functional big man Spurs coach Mitch Johnson trusts to give Victor Wembanyama a breather. So Wemby already looked visibly exhausted, logging 44 brutal minutes in Game 4, which you have alluded to earlier.
Right.
Now, with their backup center down sick, how does Cat and Mitchell Robinson attack the interior? To run Wemby directly into the ground, and also how catastrophic is this structural depth issue for the Spurs' survival tonight?
Well, for the Spurs, this is definitely like a death sentence
Mm.
because like you're either gonna have like a Tyre Wemby who's inefficient, um, or you're going to be stuck out there with Kelly Olynyk or Mason Plumlee, um, trying to defend
And they
Cat.
haven't seen the floor at all.
No, they haven't
Uh,
seen the floor at all,
so
and
they're going to be really
yeah,
rested.
they're it's going to be blurry.
Yeah. You talk about blurry. Yeah, it's really gonna be real blurry for them.
Yeah, it's going to life is going to come fast at them. So like
Hmm.
I expect fully Cat to take them off the dribble, or for
Yeah,
the Knicks to run some sets and bully them. Um, I do think that the Spurs might even try to play some small ball because you've seen like with Cat, they've put Castle on Cat at times. They put
yeah,
Vassell. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to put like a Harrison Barnes, um, a Keldon Johnson on Cat to help defend and just have a better shot at stopping him. But either way, he's a mismatch for both of them. So
yeah.
it really is Cat's game to for the taking. Like it's really his
Right.
game for the taking to establish himself as a force and to really put the Knicks up ahead. Like he was the reason why the Knicks were able in games 1 and 2 to kind of just stay within striking distance until Jalen Brunson took over that fourth quarter of each
Right.
game. We just need him to kind of get back into that place. Games 3 and 4, it's really been OG and him switching places. If you think about it, in
Yeah.
terms of like the scoring and keeping the Knicks afloat. Um, we need Cat in there too. So if we have all three of them clicking, in that way, like uh,
Forget it. I mean,
forget it.
they're gonna hold the Larry O'Brien tonight. I mean,
Right. So
yeah,
I do think Cat needs to be in there. Put him some pick and rolls
right.
with Wimby. Make Wimby have to guard. See where he's at as well.
Yeah, if we're able to really just like wear down Wemby, and you talk about where Mitch Johnson has to go, into his bench, which is really not all that promising, especially if
Right.
Cornette is not going to play. Um, as I mentioned, Bismack Biyombo or
The Wimby
uh,
whisperer.
yeah, I'm trying to remember who else they got. A couple other guys. I can see. I mean, they haven't played so much. I don't remember their names. But anyway, I mean, just going down the depth chart for the Spurs at the center position is not promising. I know you mentioned also like Harrison Barnes. Maybe they might try to throw him in that spot, but again, that's not anything impressive. I think either way, whoever you put out there at that center position, I think Cat will expose and really feast. It may even kind
Right.
of dial it back to a bit to the Atlanta series where we really saw that since from the um, game three point where the Knicks really had that where Cat was that offensive hub, and he was just really able to really expose it and really go to work and get the offense really flowing. So
Right.
yeah, so I think once Wemby is out and to really wear him down, and Mitch is forced to go to his bench, I think it's going to be over. I mean, really, it's going to get to a point where it's going to be hard for the Spurs to recover, and then you may try to rush Wemby back, and it's not going to be good for him because he's not going to last.
Right. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. So hopefully, all that comes to fruition tonight because um, I definitely don't want this to extend. I don't want to like hate to go
No.
back to the Garden. I want to close it out tonight. Not on some. I'm afraid that the Spurs can actually pull 3 wins in a row off. I don't think they're capable of
Hmm.
that. Um, I just I really want them to just show that what they've been doing. It wasn't a fluke. It wasn't because the East was weak. This it's because this team was for real.
Right.
That their style of play, like their inevitability, it's a real thing. The Knicks are inevitable. Like no matter what you do, the Knicks are going to find a way to win because they've just became a team that has learned how to do that over the last 4 years with Jalen Brunson. Um,
Right.
and also too, I want to see Wimby cry. I want to see, I want to
Yeah.
see Wimby cry on his
I,
own court.
oh
Like
yeah. Yeah.
if you really want to start a villain arc, let's start it there.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And to me, me personally, I always find the games you win on the road more satisfying than the ones you win at home.
Right.
Yeah, when you're able to like really take the heart out of the that opposing crowd. I mean, I think about going to playoffs. Just going back in history with Michael Jordan against Cleveland when he hit that
Hmm.
shot, he's hanging in the air, that double clutch shot, and
Right.
knocks Cleveland out. I mean, and he's doing it on the road in Cleveland and just quiets the whole crowd, like stuff like that, man. To me, that's. I mean, of course, you love the roar of the crowd if you do it at home, but nah, man, like when you're able to silence everybody and tell everybody to go
Right.
home, that's what I like. Maybe I'm the villain. Maybe I got a little villain in me, but I like that more
Well,
than when
Jalen might be a villain too, because Jalen said that's his stuff too.
yeah,
Jalen said he likes it better than at home, so
yeah,
maybe that's why they like playing away. I mean, our last episode, we talked about like why the Knicks play better on the road than they do. Maybe they embrace some sort of villain that they haven't exactly told us about.
right, yeah,
So,
and and also so far the Knicks have been undefeated on the road in these playoffs.
mm-mm.
So
Yeah, they have.
yeah, so the
So I
Knicks. Sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
no, I'm listening to you.
No, so the only thing I was gonna say was that so the Knicks being undefeated on the road so far in these playoffs, to me, a couple of things that tells me what I take from that is I think being on the road, like and we talked about this in previous streams, was that the Knicks are able to have that we all we got type of mentality, right? Like that no one's cheering for us.
Right,
This it's just us out here. Yeah, and you're really able to focus. You don't really have all the like say the distractions from all the other celebrities outside the ones who always travel, but he doesn't really have all that pomp and circumstance. You're just able to just really just focus on ball and just get the task at hand and really just get it done. So yeah, so that's another thing too. Like I don't see them playing on the road
hmm,
as a disadvantage. If anything, I think it's an advantage for the Knicks
I don't know.
because as you talked about earlier, where the Knicks they arrived to the arena earlier than the Spurs did. I mean that it's the little stuff like that just really shows how much they're locked in and how much they really want it more than the Spurs.
Right, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, they. I mean, this is the team that's grown before our eyes in the last 4 years, in terms of like just getting to this point
Hmm.
in the process. You've seen guys come in, you've seen guys go, you've seen the chemistry develop. Um, you've seen it all. You've seen them each year getting further and further into the playoffs.
Right.
Um, I do think tonight is the night that they close it out, man. I really do. It's and I really feel like if you're a Nick fan, you need to figure out who you want to spend tonight with,
Mm.
because this is like a core memory that's going to be a forever thing. Like
Yeah.
you don't want to spend it around people that's not Nick fans, that are not like ravenous Nick fans,
Right.
that are not screaming, high fiving, that are not excited. Like you want to be in the right atmosphere, because tonight is going to be a night that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. No, I think that's a great point, man. Yeah, and that's why I shared in our group that tonight I think I decided I'm going to stay home and watch history tonight. Because for
Right,
one, I'm going to for one I'm definitely going to sob like a big baby, definitely
right.
big time, and also too, and on the flip side of that. I'm gonna cash in like 40 years plus worth of receipts. That
Mm,
people been trashing the Knicks. People
right.
making fun of you for being a Knicks fan, this and that. No, I'm gonna be cashing in some receipts tonight. You know what I'm saying? So something
Oh
I've been
man,
holding in for a very long time.
man,
Definitely,
I've been
it's gonna be
holding
the
back
time.
this Becky meme. Whew. Man, listen.
Yo, I'll tell you, man. It's nah. It. I really feel it. I'm with you. I definitely believe this is the night the Knicks are going to do it. I firmly believe that. Um, the Knicks have shown me. Even in Game Three, man, they should have won that game. I mean,
Right,
they only lost by what, by 4 points.
right,
So the Knicks have been there. Um, look, yeah, I believe that they're going to get it done. And I really look forward, like I said, to witness history. My DVR is gonna be make sure it's gonna be recording the game tonight. That's gonna be saved. That's gonna be one of the episodes that never gonna get deleted. Like everything else can
right.
go, but except that one. But,
I gotta store it up to the cloud.
right, yeah, exactly.
You gotta
So
like triple upload it.
uh so so as we get ready for tonight, man, so Vin, yeah, give me your um end game prediction, game score prediction for tonight.
So earlier, I made a comment that I put in a bet for the Knicks to blow them out by 25.
Mhm.
That's not my real prediction, but it wouldn't hurt if that happened, so I could win some money.
Yeah.
But, I think tonight, I got 104-98 Knicks. I think it's a close game. I think they
Mhm.
win by 6 points, and they hoist up the trophy. Um, I think OG gets MVP, even though I
Oh.
wouldn't be surprised if Brunson got it, but I think OG gets MVP.
I'm not mad at that because I'd say OG has probably been the most consistent Nick throughout. Because I mean, there was even a point in games 1 and 2, the way Cat has played, that Cat was going to be the MVP.
Right.
Um, so I mean, it's definitely fluctuated depending on within each game. But yeah, no, I agree. With OG's defense, of course, and the scoring, his the production that he has made throughout this whole finals. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that, man. I would love to see OG the dog get it, get the
Yeah.
MVP. But also at the same time too, yeah, I wouldn't be mad, of course, if Brunson gets it because yeah, also I mean part of that too. I mean, there we don't get to that point without Brunson hitting some big shots himself. So I mean, everyone has really played. I think each game has taken on its own identity, and everyone, I think, I say each player has been featured in a way um, to where they've been able to really contribute towards the team, towards the Nick win. So, but yeah, I wouldn't. I could see that with OG getting the MVP tonight, and from my final score prediction, of course, I got the Knicks in five, but yeah, so I have the Knicks winning like 115, like 105 type of game.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, so 10-point lead. I actually, I met a fellow Nick fan at the gym today, and he said he's from Harlem, and he said he told me that he got the Knicks winning by like 30 tonight. I was like, whoa, okay,
He's jumping all the way out the window. I'm just putting the
yeah,
bet in because I just think anything is possible. But if I'm being real, nah, I
yeah.
think it's really 6 points.
Like I said, man, if the Knicks do that, I mean, I'll be surprised. I
Yeah.
would be shocked to see
Well,
that.
they did blow out the Spurs early in the season. They did blow them out at one point.
Yeah, yes, I agree. But I mean,
Yeah.
just the environment of this finals is definitely
Right.
a different animal, and
Yeah.
especially with
I
the
don't think the Spurs give up the
officiating,
ghost. Yeah.
especially
Right.
with officiating, definitely different from the regular seasons. That's something I say really needs to be investigated. But
Right.
no,
Same.
yeah, I think that's the way. So my reasoning behind it is just given the way the Knicks play in the closeout games, they just have a different sort of focus when it comes to that. When they know they can put a team away, especially now the stakes are much higher because now you not only putting a team away, but now you get that championship as well. So I think just knowing that they're really going to make sure that they get it done. But like I just don't see. I just don't see them beating the Spurs into submission like how they did Cleveland, where Cleveland just gave up and it just giving like free layups, a layup line to Brunson.
Right.
I thought that was wild.
George
Uh,
McBride had 25, 7
yeah,
for 9 from three.
I mean, it was practice out there.
target practice.
So, yeah, I don't anticipate that. Again, if it happens, I would love it. But like I said, I don't think it'll. I think a 10-point lead, something around there, is going to be the
Right.
final. Final margin of victory for the Knicks tonight, and they're going to hold that trophy on the Spurs floor.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Let's go Knicks.
Let's go. All right. Well, I mean, so that's it. That's it for us. Yeah. Thank you all for watching, checking in. Those on the replay crew. Check us out. Just continue to like, subscribe. Share your comments. What are your thoughts? Game score predictions. Let us know. What you think, how the game's going to go. Are the Knicks going to close it tonight, or do you see the Spurs extending? Just let us know in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. All right, we're signing off here, and we'll check in. We're gonna be watching the game tonight and watch some history. So have a good one, everybody, and let's go Knicks.